Hey, everybody. Here we are sitting with Bobby Ray, such a cool name, from North Bay Granite Club. Bobby, how are you?
Great, thanks. And yourself?
Excellent, thank you. Thanks so much for hopping on today. I greatly appreciate that. I wanted to bring you guys to the table because North Bay Granite Club has been in the area and serving the community for how long now has it been?
It's about 70 years. So in 2025, we'll celebrate 75 years. So hopefully we can do something special for them.
That is awesome. That's awesome. So, that's one of the reasons I wanted you guys on, because you guys have been part of the community for so long, and the community's been there for you, and you've been there for the community. So it's a great time to talk a little bit about, kind of some of the services that you guys offer, which I think is curling and tennis. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, for sure. It's sort of nice that we can take a break from each sport about halfway through the year. I know I appreciate it. I get to intermingle with new members and kind of mix things up from a business perspective. Get outside in the fresh air and under the sunshine in the summer, which is a real luxury. So we just finished our curling season about 3 weeks earlier than we would have hoped. We missed out on a big curling tournament that we'd have at the end of the year, sort of our big closing celebration, which is a bit of a shame, but understandably so.
Is that a fundraiser as well?
I suppose you could say that. Like we charge an entry fee, and we've got live music all weekend, and everyone has their meals included. It's a big tournament. We have 42 teams, so over 150 people, and people travel into North Bay to participate as well.
Right.
So it's a good time, and we typically make a lot of money that weekend, which we're losing out on, but we're still pretty content with where we're at. We're in hibernation mode, which is appropriate for today's weather.
Yeah.
So we've shut everything down. We're trying to expend as little as possible. Our staff is temporarily laid off, and that was sort of a mutual decision that we took on.
Right.
Hoping that come summertime we can get back to business. Yeah, and so the summer will bring us tennis, which I guess there's some fortune there that there's not a lot of overhead. It's outdoors. We're not spending a lot on utilities, for example. But people do appreciate the opportunity to get active and get outside and reconnect with their friends and exhaust their competitiveness and all this sort of stuff. And
yeah, would that normally be happening at this time of the year if it wasn't for COVID?
If it weren't for that and weren't for the snow, so April's kind of hit or miss from year to year. We typically open the first Saturday in May, maybe the last Saturday in April officially, but our members have keys, so if it were nice like it had been last week, people could have used their key to access the courts and start playing.
Oh, great idea. And curling, is that pretty much done for the year now, or is it stay open all year?
No, it's done. So we typically operate from Thanksgiving till Easter, roughly early April. Like I said, we closed 3 weeks earlier than we were planning on it. So we didn't miss out on a lot of the season. That's sort of fortunate.
Okay.
But it is done. And then typically we'll put our ice back in the arena for a couple of weeks in the summertime. We have a big summer curling tournament, which is really unique. There's not a lot of tournaments that happen in the middle of summer. So we do that. And teams come from all over the province. We do 48 teams for that, so almost 200 participants. At the same time, we do what's called an ice technician course. So people who have a full-time job installing ice and maintaining ice, sort of like a greenskeeper at a golf course. They come and get certified, and then we do a high-performance junior curling camp. We kind of package that all into a week and a half, and then take our ice back out and don't come back in until October.
Cool. And I know you guys put on, I think it was a couple of years ago, you'll have to tell me what the name of it was, but it was an incredible curling event that happened. And you guys did such an amazing job. All the people, all the participants that were talking about it, on how incredible it was, from the venue to the hotels to the organization. What was that called again?
We've done 2 now. The first one we did that was a real hit was the World Women's Curling Championship. That was in March 2018.
Yeah.
Jennifer, for curling fans or even sports fans will know the name Jennifer Jones. She represented Team Canada, and she had glowing remarks for the city and for all the volunteers, and how they felt really embraced by restaurants that they went to locally and all this sort of stuff. So she's been one of our biggest cheerleaders, and she went back to what's called the Grand Slam of Curling. That's sort of like the big tour
Right.
and said, we need to go back to North Bay. So that brought them here in October 2019. Less than 6 months ago, we were at the Gardens again.
That's awesome. Yeah, there was so much great talk in the community about how well you guys did, and you really served these people, and that goes a long way for our community. We needed that. We needed that boost, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Everyone just worked so well together. The first event, we had over 400 volunteers, which is crazy. A lot of great leaders volunteering their time to organize the event. And then I think there was a little bit element of luck, and I think we're situated geographically in a really great spots. We were able to draw from Toronto and Ottawa, but other Northern Ontario communities as well. And the fact that our city is about 50,000 people makes a great recipe for having enough people to support it, but it's also the big thing happening in town, so everyone was talking about it.
Yeah. I think luck is when preparation meets opportunity. I think you guys were prepared, you had the opportunity, and you knocked it out of the park. So
yeah,
well
I was really happy with how it went. We had a lot of time to prepare for it. I think it was more than a year. We had to plan for it, and we pre-sold tickets in order to bid on that event, and that really ended up helping down the road too.
Right. So is there a tentative event coming up soon for you guys?
Yeah, given the success we've had, so with the World Women's in 2018, then we had what's called the Masters. So there's a Masters in golf. There's also a Masters in curling. It's like the Wimbledon of curling. We had that this past October, and with both events that we held, we set records in revenue and attendance, all-time records for both events.
Wow.
So we're in a real fortunate position where we really have a choice of events that come to North Bay because these organizations want to come here, the players want to come here.
Yeah.
We are working on hosting the Masters again in October 2021. There's no guarantees, no contract signed, and with everything that's happening now, who knows if that will complicate things, but it was looking really good.
That's awesome. Well done. Well done. So you also head up and lead and created probably this 52 Coffees here in North Bay. That's kind of part, I think is part of the chamber. Can you talk just a little bit about what that's all involved?
Yeah, for sure. It's an idea that I've been holding on to for probably over 5 years and just never acted on. And it came directly from a girl in the United States who decided that after college she didn't know what she wanted to do. She'd seen friends sort of travel the world and undergo some self-discovery. In that sense, it wasn't something that interested her. She also saw other friends get locked down in a 9-to-5 job just because they felt they should start working, and then they, in a sense, got stuck there.
Right.
She came up with this great idea. She said she's going to take a year off, and every week she's going to invite a stranger out to have a coffee with her and sort of blog about it. So she's got a blog online. She turned it into a book. It's no literary masterpiece, but it's really interesting. It's very very human.
Yeah.
I started reading it. I never even finished reading it, to tell you the truth. I'm not a huge reader. It's something I wish that I was. Mm-hmm. But I got a couple of her blogs in and decided that I just wanted to do something like that myself. And given that I had a background in sport and event and league management, that's immediately what came to my mind, is that this isn't something that I would do by myself. I would just invite, 52 people would be the minimum. And that would serve to have enough people in a round robin, almost like you think in sport. And every week we'd meet somebody new. So that's what we did. We put a call out for people. We got 84, I think, the first year. And then this year we have 120, between that and 125.
Yeah, what an awesome concept, man. Great idea. You know, you get to cycle through, 52 different people throughout the year. You'll learn a ton about people and the different businesses that they're in and opportunity. Sure. I think great things like collaboration, connecting, engaging, all comes from something like that. So
yeah, for sure. Off. Yeah, I think one of the big things I learned too that I wasn't expecting was just learning about North Bay. You know, you learn about that trail that somebody walks that you never knew about, or that restaurant that someone gets takeout from that you never heard of. And
I was part of it for a little while, and I met a fellow by the name of Kelly. I forget his last name now. He's the airport manager. I tell you what, man, that guy is the most interesting guy I've ever spoken to, because he was in the military and he has got some incredible edge of your seat stories. he's invited me to come up and take a look at the airport. I'm going to take him up on that. Guy's a pretty solid dude. I do forget his last name. Real good guy.
Hewitt, I think.
That's it. Kelly Hewitt. Yeah.
I did meet him too. I went up there. He was one of those conversations that it could have went all day. I think I was up there for 2 hours.
Yeah. Interesting dude, man.
Yeah. And I've had a couple like that where you sit down thinking you're going to have a 40-minute chat and a coffee and a muffin, and it ends up being 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And
yeah,
it's really different than going to a group networking event where you have to kind of sneak your elevator pitch in, give your business card, then you're being tapped on the shoulder or you're being dragged in another direction.
Right. So is this part of the Chamber's curriculum now, or how does that work? What's the connection there?
Yeah, I'd say so. So it's something that I came up with by myself. However, I was a member of the Young Professionals Committee at the time, which is a committee at the Chamber, and had been for 8 years or so, and just felt that was the right place to house a program like that. So I'd gone to the board and pitched the idea, and they loved it and let me run with it. So it's certainly it's a Chamber program now. We emailed everyone and sort of said with the coronavirus happening that if you wanted to put it on the back burner, that's okay. We don't want people meeting in person, that we encourage people to meet virtually. But we've heard from a lot of people in different circumstances, single parents at home with a handful of children who just can't commit anymore, and
right,
people with a lot of time on their hands alternatively. So we have a meeting today, and I think what would be likely is that we offer a solution in the meantime to say who wants to jump in on a week-by-week basis until this thing is over, and then we'll go back to the regular schedule.
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity to meet virtually. I know that's another organization I'm part of is BNI, and that's what they've elected to do all across the world, is to do virtual meetings as opposed to the physical meetings, which are now shut down. And it's working out really well. It's connecting at a different level. There's a lot less, I guess, time wasting, because you're kind of all sitting there. You're kind of accountable for your time. So I think it'd be a great idea to keep it going and get them virtually, get them into the technology, get them to step outside their comfort zone a little bit, because sometimes people don't like this. Oh, I'm being recorded, or I'm on a Zoom. What's a Zoom? So I think it's a great opportunity.
I think it works really well. Last Friday, I was on a committee meeting with about 40 people, and
Wow.
Surprisingly worked really well. People had to vote on things by raising their hands or pressing the yes button and all that stuff. And
oh, that's cool.
Went extremely smoothly.
Yeah, I've never been on one with that many people, but it's capable. You can put hundreds on there, so interesting. This has been really awesome, Bobby Ray. I really appreciate you hopping on today. I know you guys are currently closed at the Granite Club. It's going to change. Tough times don't last. Tough people do. We're tough cookies. Yep. We're gonna get through this. We can start to see some light here at the end of the tunnel. So, anyways, I appreciate you hopping on. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
We'll talk again soon.
Thanks. And much appreciation for what you do as well.
Oh, no problem at all. Thank you. Okay, bye-bye.